What up, Chicken Nuggets? Tyler here with Tarver Cards, and this is Sports Cards Dope podcast, and so are you. So I'm coming to you live, pre-recorded from my vacation because podcasts don't sleep. What's that thing? I was going to try to quote an old rap song from high school. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller Records. But get down with it. Does anybody remember that, or am I just making that up? So today's episode, I have a clip from a longer talk I did where I was chatting with Adam Gray. Adam Gray is awesome. If you don't follow him, you are doing a disservice to yourself and your life and your sports card collecting journey. He's one of the best voices out there, and honestly, in my opinion, one of the best representations of the sports card collecting hobby. So go check him out on Instagram at the real 27 guy. He's an awesome dude. This is just a short clip I've got for you. The thought I want to throw at you today is it all about the value, the stories, or what in between? Like, what is the percentage of value and stories that we need to be focusing on? And I think that if we do that, it adds that whole level of passion behind it so that we're not just bouncing through. It's something that people can get into and enjoy and have fun with. So I'm going to stop talking here and I'm going to start talking with Adam right now.
But on your credential set, so this is, I want to get back to this.
Oh,
This is one of the reasons I love your content. Like, I love your content.
dude,
Because
thank you.
whether you're getting autographs from players or you're putting together a set or you're talking about like this thing that you bought and how much you paid for it and what you're thinking about doing with it and how you're doing it, like all of that stuff to me is so it's the collecting. It's the real hobby stuff. A lot of our hobby content, and this is not meant is a diss on anybody's hobby content, okay? A lot of our hobby content is straight money driven, straight like we're going to talk about values and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with talking about that. A lot of people are interested, but I think for us to grow up, we have to embrace that people want to own things, they want to collect things, and we have to talk about like why they want that. And some people don't like that I do this. They think it's like just straight up like, Adam's just trying to hype this thing, he's just trying to do that or trying to create value. And I honestly, in some ways, I kind of understand that because I own some of these cards. And so there's sometimes a benefit that comes from that to me too. But the reason that we talk about cards, the reason that I try to talk about them is because I want people to understand why they're as collected as they are so that they can look at it and then understand, do I want that or not? It's kind of like, I would say, it's kind of like walking into an art museum and being like, I wonder what that's worth. I wonder what that's worth. I wonder what, like, at some point you're like, shut up and like enjoy the art, enjoy why this thing is cool. Let's talk about that. But our group of our hobby, if you like, just sort of segmented it and just said, okay, truly, why does this person care about this thing? There's just a huge percentage of us, unfortunately, that are just focused on value. And that we have to get away from that at some point if we're ever going to be like really big. We have to care about the cards for the cards, and that part of that's value, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But we have to care about the cards for the cards, and not like we have to want people who actually want their cards. They're going to own them for years. Instead, now it almost feels like you find somebody who has a card in their collection for more than a year, and it's a rarity because people are just churning and burning all the time.
Yeah, and they just don't. They're so afraid they're going to be left holding the bag, as they say. But I love that, and that's one of the things I really love. Besides, I learn a lot from watching your stuff. I love that you see it as like these layers, because we make content, and I'm sure you get comments all the time like, "Oh, great with PSA, you get more money. You get this. Why are you investing that player and this player?" And I'm like, because it's stories. Like if we wanted to, I would have a social media handle where I talk about the stock market if I was just talking about money moving, you know what I mean, and investments. Like I don't care about that as much as I care about the story and like, to quote the greatest movie of all time, Shrek. I'm just kidding. But like he talks about an onion has layers. And you're right that yes, the value it's not the whole onion, it's a layer. It's a layer on there. And there are cards that I view as the whole onion. Like Kabooms look kind of cool, but it doesn't, like, I don't have layers to that like I do like a 96 EX credentials card of Big Country, Bryant Reeves. Like there's layers to it. And then like the personal stories, the personal exchanges we have with those cards. So when I think, and to use it, that Bryant Reeves credentials, I bought I bought it on eBay because I was like just sniping trying to get that whole set. And then I was at the National last year and I'm walking around and people were like, "What you looking for?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not saying everybody talks like me in a Southern accent, but they're like, "What are you looking for?" And I'm like, 9060X credentials. And the guy's like, and most of them don't have it, but then one guy at the table goes, "I think I got something back here," and he pulls it out and he goes, "I got Bryant Reeves. I got it for." I go, "How much?" He goes, $50. I go, "I'll take it." Didn't talk him down, nothing, because I knew myself. I know I contributed to the inflation of those, because the one thing we forget is that it just takes two people bidding on a card to increase the whole value based on what we all rank the value on with comps on eBay. And it's like, I knew that any credentials you couldn't get less than $80 on eBay, because when the notification comes on for me that a credentials comes up, I automatically bid up to $80. There's not gonna, like, if it sells less, I'm the only one that went on it. So I just said, I'll take it. And so now that Bryant Reeves has another layer for me, and it's a part of the story of my collecting journey. And it's like, I love how you layer in that. And I love your analogy of like the art and the history behind these cards. And like, I don't know if you've said it before. If I think if you haven't said it, I'm going to take credit, but like, you're like a basketball card historian. And if that's true, like, my vote is, you have my vote for Indiana Jones of the hobby, because
Ah,
it's like, I feel like you see the value in it, but you're also like, this belongs in a museum. You know what I mean? And I love that. Okay, so I hope you liked that. That was some little thoughts from us. Here's my question that I want to ask you, and I want you to take this. My challenge to you, if you will. I want you to pick one card in your collection that tells a story. Pick a card in your collection that tells a story, and I want you to not the one that's worth the most, but one that means the most. And I want you to tell that story to someone this week, whether it's, a friend, a kid, at a show, doesn't matter. It can be on social media, anywhere. Just tell your story. Give me in the comments of this. If you're on YouTube, say in the comments. I'd love to hear about a card and what that story is and what it means to you. And I think that's one of the big pieces to how we keep growing this space of collectibles that we love so much. Thank you guys so much. Y'all be good, stay sweet, and never stop collecting. Sports cards are dope, and so are you. Later.